So I don't know how long you guys have been subscribed to the channel, but nearly 4 years ago, I was alerted to an interesting occurrence that can be identified on Google. I mean, who's using the word poggers in 1872? There is a tool on Google called the Ngram viewer, and what this tool does is it searches for the number of Ngrams of that specific term that can be found on any printed source media. So Minecraft had a resurgence here, which is interesting because as its release occurred around this time, the term Minecraft was actually used rather prominently throughout the entire 20th century, and it spiked in 1934. You can search for any books using the term Minecraft in the 20th century. There are some errors here listing the publication date to be 1900. There seems to be a default thing. If you scroll just a little bit farther down, American naval fighting ships, there's a recurring theme here. Obviously, a Minecraft is a name of a ship used for mine sweeping. And so this kind of Ngram activity is completely understandable. So I made a joke video 4 years ago, rather ironically illustrating that idea. Now, 4 years later, something else has come up. I was told on r/PhoenixSC by Whole Satisfaction 839 to search up the term chicken jockey, and I have done just that. So let's search in chicken jockey from the 1900s all the way to 2022, unfortunately not accounting for the surge in search results from the Minecraft movie. So we searched this up, and what do you know, we have an increase in the usage term of chicken jockey ever since the release of Minecraft. However, let's scan a little bit farther back from that. So 2000, 1990, 1980, past the Second World War, towards the Great War. To 1910, we have a little bit of a spike on the term chicken jockey, small but significant. So let's try to isolate this all the way to 1920. And we do have that spike. We've zoomed in. Something happened in 1911 and 1906. No one talks about the great chicken jockey charge of 1916. Chicken jockey was actually the code name for a tank used in World War I.
By Jove, Charlie, I just happened upon the most bizarre sight. Upon a roaming hen, there sat a youth reanimated from the clutches of death itself.
What is this, some kind of chicken jockey? I've done some research and I found two particular books that can entirely account for these two spikes. This is Poultry, Garden and Home, volume 22 in 1915. I found one of the first volumes of this journal that is a journal about poultry. We have some incubators here on the front page. This is a chicken journal from March 1898. They had chicken competitions on who could raise the best chickens and best quality eggs, with prizes and trophies for each one, and this is the first page. I'm someone who loves reading and collecting magazines and gazettes from years past. I spent a long time reading this, and they dedicated entire pages of this on advertising eggs, brooders, and incubators. So, back on topic, this is the 1915 edition, and this is where chicken jockey appeared in that text. This is written in from a subscriber who is acquainted with one of the proprietors of a poultry farm in Iowa, and they wrote in and said, I am acquainted with Carl Dare and have a pretty good idea of some of his business methods. I know also that he and H.M. Jones of Des Moines, another chicken jockey, seem to be very good friends and do lots of visiting. To expose the methods of one of these men and not bother the other would be just like cutting down half a weed patch and letting the other half grow. So the term chicken jockey here should be quite familiar to some of you, except it is not a chicken jockey. They're most likely talking about one of the more archaic definitions of the word jockey, which is to handle and manipulate, like a disc jockey, DJ. Not the jockey is someone who rides a horse. Here's another one from 1909, Pacific Poultry Craft, which is another journal. Can the leopard change his spots? Sure, Mike. With the aid of a professional chicken jockey, he can be turned into anything required from a laughing hyena to a buff cochin cockerel. So next time you find yourself inside a woodland mansion and you encounter one of these structures and you're inevitably about to face off with a baby zombie and there's a chicken in front of you, before you decide to set this trapdoor down and release the chicken jockey, pause and reflect. Maybe you are the chicken jockey after all. Ow! Cold melon soup with shrimp is soothing on a hot day, especially when followed by grill-roasted young pigeon from Talavera, or sole fillets with figs in Chardonnay, stuffed small chicken jockey style.